Hey, Sarah with NextGEN Medium. I'm the host of NextGEN Medium, the podcast, and I have a website, nextgenmedium.com. I am a psychic medium intuitive. I found out a few years ago, and ever since then, I've been practicing, and I've learned a few things. And one of the things that I've learned is that everybody has soul abilities, psychic, mediumship, intuition, healing, and it's kind of weird that it's a weird thing. So I want to make people aware that it's not a weird thing and we can all do it. And I want to help you see it for yourself, bring you to that threshold of seeing it for yourself so you can go explore and start learning the things that are yours because they're there. And so one of the things I like to do is go to Reddit and check out the subreddits and see what people are talking about. I am in subreddit of psychic. And I've taken on a monumental task of answering this question from Jaleb's. Her title of her thing is called "How to Be a How to Become a Psychic," and I'm wondering if she has respiratory issues because that came on very suddenly. How to become a psychic, and her question is how to learn to be a psychic. Oh boy, that's a big question. First question is, do you really want to be a psychic? Second question is, well, you're already psychic. Well, that's not a question. That's more of a statement. You're already a psychic. You want to be able to see your abilities and trust your abilities. That's where you want to get to. Now, is it psychic that you're looking to do? Psychic in our culture is sort of an umbrella term we use for psychic, intuition, mediumship, maybe even healing. It's sort of all encompassing in our kind of regular culture terms, but in the more specific world of spirituality, you learn that psychic is just one of the soul abilities, and then you also have intuition and mediumship and healing, and they all have their different ways of working and different kind of meanings, depending on where your source is, who the source is, or whatever. The source being where information is coming from. Okay, so I'm gonna try to answer this question. What am I doing answering this question? First of all, I did a podcast episode about, the steps to become a psychic. And the point of the podcast episode was to make it real. Like, these are the things you need to do. But it was also to show you that there's a lot of preparation that's needed in order to get to that point, and a lot of behavior that needs to change in order to get to that point as well. Um, when it comes to growing up in Western culture, um, one of the things that's very difficult, one of the reasons why we're so sad, one of the reasons why um, we don't trust in ourselves is because we are nurtured to put our self aside and to get in line to be institutionalized. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast when it comes to the physical world. And there's a lot of things about that disconnect us from our soul selves and can be one of the reasons why people feel very lost. And I think we're feeling that quite a bit right now. I think a lot of people are feeling that way. And I would say to get started to become a psychic, so that is just one of the abilities that you can do, but it all stems from getting to know the self, getting to know your inner dialogue, getting to know who you are and not who you are because someone said that's who you are. Like, you got to find that out for yourself. And it does take a bit of a journey on your own, but it's very rewarding because then it's your truth and nobody could tell you that it's wrong because it's yours. But there are there are certain abilities that I would point you towards, in particular the intuition ability, if you really want to step into understanding your psychic ability. Now, if you want to just do party tricks and tell the future with the things that you do, um, it would be better, first of all, to not be the person who wants to show it off, because it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. But understanding your intuition, that inner knowing, that inner voice is really going to lead you with your other soul abilities, those more complex soul abilities of your psychic, of your mediumship, of your healing. And so I would point you in the direction of getting to know your intuition. And all it takes is just shutting off the outside world and getting a sense of who you are without all the crap going on around you, understanding the thoughts that go through your head. And then in there is where you start hearing your inner voice. And in your day-to-day life, how often is your inner voice talking to you and you ignore it? I would say if you are in a place where you're feeling like you're going around in circles, you're not listening to your inner voice. And so that means you got to do something different. And that means you got to change. And it's all about being comfortable with change. Man, how to become a psychic. You have to have good observation. You have to be able to pay attention inside and be able to pay attention externally as well. I think there's a lot to it that is so natural for us that in order for us to understand it, it needs to be verbalized, and then we can connect with it. The difficulty is there's so many different ways to talk about it, and it can be differently experienced for just about everybody. So it really does become your own individual journey, but have no fear. Lots of rambling there, but I have a podcast where I want to talk to you, the person who wants to become a psychic, Jalebs, and people like you who want to know about your soul abilities. Of course, you want to know what your soul abilities are. I'm telling you, you've got them. And who wouldn't want to be like, holy crap, like I can do other things. Yes, you can. And it makes you feel like a much more secure person in the process. And why wouldn't anybody want that? Everybody wants that. So go to nextgenmedium.com, check out my blog, and I also have a podcast that people are listening to and they really like, NextGen Medium podcast. You can get it on Spotify, you can get it on Stitcher, and where else? Like everywhere. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to your podcasts, I'm there. And I kind of lay it out. I got information for you to kind of fill your head with things, and then to get you started on really getting to messaging and seeing it for yourself and witnessing it and starting to see that there's more to this world than that's going on, and that reaches you to a higher consciousness, and then you're getting to a place where life gets very exciting. So go to nextgenmedium.com and check out my stuff. You can set up an appointment to talk with me so we can get you where you need to go a little bit quicker. And good luck to you, Jalebas. Have a question? You can go to my website, nextgenmedium.com, fill out the contact form, and I'd love to talk about your question too. That's it. Bye-bye now.